New at noon, Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew just wrapped up a news conference when it came to crime numbers for 2020.
Adriana De Alba just stepped out of that meeting. And Adriana, what were the big takeaways from this?
Hey, Dan and Bethany. Well, listen, it's hard to pinpoint just one because there were a lot of major takeaways during that meeting. Listen, the department has a lot to be proud of. They've had a lot of major accomplishments. They continue building that trust in the community. Overall crime was down in 2020, but there were some troubling trends too. And Chief Drew said he believes it's directly tied to the stress people are feeling during this pandemic. In an hour-long presentation Friday, Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew walked us through what's happening in his community and within his police department.
We're always looking at how to do better.
The stats show his department is doing better in many ways. In 2020, overall crime in the city went down 14%, a 5% improvement from 2019. There's a downward trend year to year. Also in 2020, police took more weapons off the street. There were 2 more murders from the year before.
But each one of those numbers represents an individual, a community, a neighborhood. And I don't take that lightly. I don't lose sight of that.
There were also some troubling numbers in 2020. The number of domestic aggravated assaults increased. Suicides went up nearly 30%. And opioid overdose deaths spiked from 158 in 2019 to 229 in 2020. These are trends Drew believes are a direct result of stress during the pandemic.
Frustration, people out of work, individuals that are not sure what they're going to do, where their next check's coming from, this pandemic that we're going through, a lot of stress, people that have lost loved ones.
He broke down the goals for 2021. They include continuing to train and improve when it comes to things like de-escalation, how they communicate with people, youth outreach, and implicit bias training. The department will specifically focus on lowering crime rates in the Beachmont neighborhood, the Randolph/Bellwood area, and Marshall Courts neighborhood. And Chief Drew also took the time to honor and remember Officer Katie Thyne. Tomorrow marks 1 year since she was killed in the line of duty. He said till this day, help continues pouring in for the young daughter she left behind. We're live in Newport News. Adriana De Alba, 13 News Now.
Thanks, Adriana.